Hello, my name is Victoria Nero, and today we will be learning about area and perimeter. At the end of this lesson, we should know how to identify the area and perimeter of a polygon with whole side numbers, as well as understand the importance of area and perimeter and how we can use these concepts in real life situations. The perimeter is the distance around a shape. For example, if we were to go to the playground and walk along the edge of the playground, we would be measuring its perimeter. The perimeter is important because it helps us determine whether a place has enough space for activities such as playing games or running around without bumping and hurting each other. The perimeter can also be used to help determine whether there is enough space for an object, such as building a fence around a backyard. These are a few examples of why knowing how to find the perimeter is important in our daily lives. But how do we find the perimeter? To find the perimeter, we're going to add up all the sides of the shape. Let us look at our rectangle. We can see that the rectangle has a length of 8 inches and a width of 4 inches. Since the rectangle is a parallelogram, we know that it has two sets of opposite sides that are equal and parallel. For example, if one side measures 8 inches, then the opposite side will also be as 8 inches. Just as with the width being 4 inches, the opposite side will also be 4 inches. So after looking at our rectangle and identifying all of the sides, we're going to add up the sides together. So we have 4 plus 8 plus 4 plus 8, which equals 24. The perimeter of the rectangle is 24 inches. Now, let's try again with a square. In our example, there is only one side that is measured. However, once again, we know that a square is a parallelogram and that all sides are equal if one side is measuring 4 inches, then all of the other sides will be 4 inches as well. Just as with the rectangle, when finding the perimeter of the square, we are going to add all of the sides together. We have 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4, which equals 16. The square has a perimeter of 16 inches. Area is defined as the total space taken up by a 2D surface or shape of an object. The area is the shape of the number of unit squares that covers the surface of the shape. Understanding how to identify the area of a shape or a space is important for a variety of different purposes. For example, if your parents wanted to put new tiles in their bathroom, then they would have to know the area of the room to know how many tiles they have to buy to complete the project. Another example would be if we were creating a classroom garden and needed to know how many vegetables we could fit into our garden. To find this out, we would calculate the area of the garden so we can see how many vegetables we can plant. When we look at our example, we see a rectangle. When we count each individual unit square, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The rectangle has an area of 6 unit squares. Another way of calculating area is applying the formula A equals L times W, where A represents the area of the shape, L represents the length of a shape, and W represents the width of a shape. When looking at our rectangle, we can see that it has a length of 10 and a width of 2. When we plug these numbers into our formula, we get A equals 10 times 2. When we start our multiplication, we find that the area of the rectangle is 20 square units. Area and perimeter are important to our daily lives as it helps us understand the distance around a shape as well as the space inside of the shape. Having this knowledge will help us when completing projects or knowing if there is enough space to participate in activities such as playing a game or doing sports such as soccer or football. Remember, when calculating the perimeter of a shape, we will add all of the sides of the shape together. Whereas with the area, we will use the area formula of length times width to identify the unit squares of a shape.